Welcome to the Soothing Well. My name is Deborah, and I'm really happy and excited about being here because it's my very first episode on the Soothing Well. And I want to tell you that there is a better way, there's a better path to mental health and wellness that I want to lead you and guide you to. There's two really paths right now. There's one that you probably tried, and it was a big one, and that's called the industrial mental health path. You know, the one that they send you some pharmaceutical medications as soon as you said that you were depressed. And a lot of times, they didn't really listen to your story yet, but they were really quick in writing that prescription. We're going to talk about that path. And then today, I'm going to talk about the ancient path, the one that we have forgotten about. The one has gotten a lot of back talk and a lot of thorns and has bushes on it, and you kind of have to sort your way. And when you see that path, it is a really hopeful, beautiful path. It winds through the jungles. It goes up and down through the valley. Sometimes you gotta hop over some rocks, and you gotta look out because it can be slippery when it starts raining. But sisters, and my show is about sisters here. When you start following that path and you remember that it was made for you and I, then you feel secure knowing that it's going to lead you in the right direction, and the end result is actually to get back to the Creator, Yah, and get back home secure in His covering, where you will find rest for your soul, rest for your crazy mind, peace like never before. And you won't even be able to explain it. And that's the funny thing about it. Because when you find that path, and while you're walking it, you get this comfort that is beyond words. It makes no sense. Like, why am I feeling good? Why am I okay? Craziness is happening around me. People are dying. I'm losing my job. My children are giving me trouble. Yet deep down inside, I have comfort and I have peace. My sisters, this is what I'm talking about. So welcome to Soothing Well. And it is a show for sisters, for women in particular. And if you're a brother, you can hang out at the back. But I'm talking to women, female, mental health issues. And if you notice, I use the word Yah a lot because I am a believer in the Most High. I believe in Him. I'm not talking about any universe. I'm not talking about some kind of source. I'm talking about the Creator, our Father who made us. He is real, and He wrote a book. He actually guided men to write a book, and it's called the Bible. And in it is the foundation of which I'm going to shuffle a whole bunch of other tools by. So Yah gave us this instruction book called the Bible, the Torah, I like to call it. And in it, I can now judge whether or not something else is good or not. So when I come to healing my mental health, it's very important because sometimes you go to these other websites and they will tell you about crystals, and they will tell you about Buddhism, Hinduism, New Age philosophies, meditation, transcendental meditation. They will tell you about how you need to manifest your healing. They'll tell you to write it all down 1,000,000 times and say it in your mind, and you have the power to change your story. They're going to tell you to follow crystals, and they're going to tell you to do Reiki, and then, yoga. And if you're coming to this spot, the Soothing Well, for those kind of solutions, you're in the wrong space. Because this space is a sacred space. It is dedicated 100% to the things that give Yah glory, the things that He has approved on because it follows the Torah. And it's like, check, I can use that. Check, I can eat that. Check, that will be good for me. Because I'm going through the Bible, through the ancient path. And it's called ancient because you're not the first on the path. You don't have to worry, my sisters. Other people have tried it and they have succeeded. As a matter of fact, it led them all the way to glory, all the way, that straight and narrow way to glory. But while I'm on earth, right, although we call it the straight and narrow path, it's straight and it's narrow, but it does happen to have some obstacles that are going to be challenging on the way, right? When I'm talking about your mental health, the way you think, the way you perceive the world, the way you interpret what is going around you, you need a sound mind. You need to think clearly and reasonably. And I know, sisters, that we tend to be more emotional, right? That is one of our beauties, but also something that has to be handled very wisely about us, because we view things of our emotions through our emotions. But sometimes that can be a hindrance to us. We misinterpret our world and we need some guidance. And that's why you're here looking for it. You were searching online and y'all let you here, and you're in the right spot. Because for now, there is temporarily, just now, a soothing well that y'all is opening up. It's a virtual one, but it's linked to the Torah, and you can pull that out anytime you want, the Bible. And you can verify what I'm going to tell you in this show, on these episodes, and you can tell me in the chats if I'm wrong. But I try, and I tell you that the ancient paths are not new. I am going to tell you that they are guaranteed to lead you the right way if you stay on them, if you follow the instructions of the Bible, if you really believe in a creator called Yah, and you pray to him and you seek him. But the pharmaceuticals, and I know they don't like me to say this on YouTube, the pharmaceutical industrial path is a scary path. It's scary because you're putting your faith in man. Men made those drugs. They made those powders. They made those pharmaceuticals. They made those potions. They put together these concoctions that do not heal. They don't. Wasn't it just the other day, or was it a couple years ago, that you started taking pharmaceutical drugs? And yeah, you first probably had a real reason to be depressed. It starts off like this for a lot of women. It's that you had a serious breakdown in your relationship. For example, you were having problems with your husband or your lover, and it led to a breakup at the end, a divorce. Who left? We'll talk about it later. It doesn't matter. You are not together anymore. And so that is a tragedy. And you fall into a depression, a legitimate depression, because in the definition of, feeling sad, you have a right to feel sad. Especially if you had invested a whole lot of energy and time and love into that relationship. It feels like you failed. And then you take that and you feel yourself, not wanting to go to work anymore. And if you have children, you take care of them, but it's not with your heart. You're just trying, just getting along. And that becomes a burden. Then the next step is, okay. I have these thoughts in my mind that are not good. Like, I'm really thinking about giving up. And that's not good. So before that even generates to any further, you go to your GP, your doctor, and you spill the beans. Now, if you're in the West and these doctors are so busy, I know they don't got time for you. 10 minutes of the story. Like, tell me 10 minutes, what's wrong with you? And you say, Doc, my my husband broke up and we just got a divorce, and I'm really tired all the time, and I don't feel like going to work, and my kids are just driving me crazy, and I don't know what to do because I really feel sad and depressed. And next thing you know it, before you finish the last sentence, the doctor is like, take that to the pharmacy, take that at night, some food, you'll be good. You'll be fine because you're suffering from depression. And if you're not good, come back again and I will refer you to a psychiatrist. And so, being the simple woman that you are, you didn't really think twice about it. You went down to the pharmacy and you filled the prescription and you took the drug. And you know what? I probably would too if I didn't know what I know now. But you take it. And what happens? Well, at first, it's okay. It kind of took the edge off the anxiety and the stress. And, I'm thinking, didn't really feel much of a change, but I feel a little bit of a change. You keep on taking it. And then after a couple of weeks, you realize that you're thinking slower. And that's why things are not so anxious anymore, because you're literally walking slower. You're doing everything slower. You're reacting slower. And then you realize that, yeah, you can go to work now, but you really still don't care, because now you're even number. Like, you're not depressed because you don't really have a feeling anymore. You're becoming numb. Like numb. You can step on your toes and the triggers are not there anymore. And so, okay, you're thinking, well, I used to be triggered by this person saying these certain things to me and that person looking like that, or my kids behaving in this way. But now they can burn the whole house down. And the drug kind of makes me feel like I don't give a damn. Right? You start feeling numb. And so the slowness of the head, the numbness of the spirit, and then you go back for your refill. And the doctor asks you, how you doing? And you say, well, it's okay. It's not bad. Are you like, you back at work? Yeah, I'm back at work. Yeah, how are the kids? Oh, the kids are alive. Didn't kill them. And the doctor's like, okay, here we go. I guess the drug's doing you good. I'll just keep you on that same doses, especially if you didn't have any side effects to complain about yet. And so they keep it going. And you stay on the drug for like a couple more months. The months turn to years. And sometimes, of course, there's side effects. And we will talk about that later. Okay, that's another rabbit hole to go down. But let's pretend there are not many side effects except for the numbness, the slowness, I don't really care. Life is not exciting anymore. I can't really smell the roses. I'm not getting pleasure in anything anymore. And I'm not myself. You kind of feel like little by little you've lost yourself. And then you go back to the doctor and you say, doc, I know that you gave this to me for depression, but I still feel depressed because I don't feel anything, and that itself is depressing. And nothing gives me pleasure anymore. My kids tell me jokes, I don't laugh. I go to birthday parties with them, it doesn't matter. My girlfriends invite me out, I go, but I'm not having fun. Nothing is like before. I don't feel the same. Something is wrong with me. And he goes, you know what? You might be a little bit more depressed, so I'll just up the dosage. And you go higher and higher and higher in dosage as the years go by, and you'll never get out of it. They say, you're going to have to take this for life, they say. And voila, you are now trapped in the matrix of the pharmaceutical industry. And as a woman, you know that the majority, 1 in 4 of Western women are on some kind of psych drug. We are losing our minds. And they say it's because we're just like popping out the womb that way, but it's not true. It's not true. I think we've lost our way. The world has always been a challenge, right? It's always been a challenge. People die, people break up. Stress? Yes, it's true. There's some modern stresses that my grandparents didn't have. But they had some tools that you don't have. So let's go there just for one sec. Let me think. My grandmother, she had a hard life on both my mom and dad's side. They both had many children, more than 10 each. They raised their kids. They fed their husbands. They did their laundry in the rivers. They had no electricity. They somehow survived living off grid. They had a fortitude to wake themselves up in the morning and to prepare meals that seemed to take forever to cook over an open fire. And at the end of the day, they snuggled up with their husbands who possibly had other women because polygyny was okay. Listen, my sisters, they had their deals. And they thrived because they had secrets mentally to make them stronger. So although physically they were working very hard, these women had a stronger fortitude in their head than you and I in our modern day. With all the washing machines and irons and babysitters and entertainment on TV for them to be lost in, you don't have to do half the physical work that they had to do. Yes, you go to work for another person over there called the other COO boss man, but you didn't have to work like my grandmother had to work, and yet they had the fortitude in their mind. So what did they know about mental health and wellness that you and I have lost? We have lost the ancient path. And the ancient path, my sisters, is where Yah is calling us back. It involves, number one, Him. If you have lost track of Him, Yah, if you have somehow been distracted by TikTok and social media and over there by New Age solutions and pharmaceuticals, you have lost track of the source of healing. The source of life is the Most High, Yah. The second thing that we have lost track of is love. Because it says, love the Most High, love God, your Father, with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your soul. Love Yah with everything you have in your being. Love Him. So we have lost the love of Yah. You might know about Him, but you don't care about Him. And if you lost the love of Yah, then how can you follow the next commandment? Love your neighbor as yourself. Now you see the combination of love the neighbor as yourself? Well, if you don't love yourself, you're going to be depressed and anxious, have all kinds of mental illnesses. Because we don't know how to love ourselves, we also don't get along with anybody else. Loving our neighbor, relationship issues, dilemma and trauma, not knowing how to deal with that. Loving God is key. Loving ourselves and our neighbors is key. And going back to the taking accountability of where we have failed in all these things and reflecting back on what is it that I can control and what can't I control? Remembering again that the instruction book is there to guide me. I'm not alone. And also, I got sources, power tools available to me if I have the courage to pick them up. Power tools like information on the internet, power tools like podcasts and sisters that are encouraging you in the word, power tools of herbs and remedies and natural saunas and exercise and sunlight and vitamins. And we are going to hit those power tools, my sisters. And we're going to also, at the end of the episodes, come along with homework, because it's not about all talk and research. You've had enough talk and research. You probably researched a whole lot of topics, but you're not implementing them. And what's stopping you from picking up the power tools is a spiritual battle. Like you might know it and you know of it, but you don't know how to use it and you don't want to use it, and there's something holding you back. And we're going to talk about that. very much, so much to discuss. Welcome again to the Soothing Well. And it's my honor to be here. And I hope you got blessed by this discussion. Leave a comment if you do like it. It helps grow it. It's a brand new channel. But I'm looking forward to talking to you more. If you have any need of any kind of spiritual guidance and you believe in Yah and you are female and you want to talk, I'm available for coaching and guiding. And so you can just hit me up on my email address in the description. Blessings, my sisters. And you guys, don't forget to go to the well whenever you need it. He's always there.